Ozarks Sports Report YouTube show here, joined by the head coach of the Purdy Eagles, Coach Josh Hughes. And also he's joined by Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props, and assistant coach Derek Mann. And for today's show, we're going to be doing a season recap with the head coach of the Purdy Eagles, along with Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props, as well as Coach Mann of the Purdy Eagles. Recapping the season for the Purdy Eagles. The Purdy Eagles had an impressive season throughout the fall and the spring. Their records from the spring was 24-2 in the spring and 15-3 in the fall, which was a 39-5 overall record. Their losses in the fall came to Silo out of Oklahoma, Ellington, who is a Class 2 state champion, Morrisville, Marion C. Early, who is a Class 2 District 8 champion, and in the spring their only two losses came to Monette, who is a Class 4 state quarterfinal, and Seymour, who is the Class 2 state runner-up. First off, with the questions first, let's go to Coach Hughes. And first question is, Coach Hughes, what was the main objective that you guys had going into the fall and the spring?
Well, we had high, lofty goals, and we wanted to achieve those. So, we kind of set forth in the fall, and as you said, went 15-3 and played some good competition and kind of got us going. And then, we kind of come into the spring with knowing we kind of had a target on our backs, and the boys worked hard at practice and got us ready, and had a really good spring, and we kind of fell a little bit short at the end of the year where we wanted to be, and that's going to drive our new, our coming, guys that are coming back. That's going to drive them to get better, and with the seniors that you mentioned, and Jed, our other senior, that they went out on a good record, and out with some good stuff to their credit.
Also, same question goes to you as well as Coach Mann, also Mason Schallert, Kyler Props, and Carl Hughlett. What was the strategy that you guys had going into both the fall and the spring seasons? Start up with Mason Schallert.
Hello.
Repeating the question, Mason, what was the main strategy that you guys had going into both the fall and the spring, going 24-2 in the spring and 16-3 in the fall?
Just going into this year, small ball's been the key for us. Coach Hughes does a great job allowing us to do that, and we knew going into it that was going to be a great strategy for us, and of course, with our big bats in the lineup, a couple of us get on there are going to come up and drive us home.
Trying to swing, and it is, and also that's also the same question goes to you as well from Mason Schallert, also to Kyler Props and and Carl Hughlett. What was the strategy that both you guys had in this season of the Purdy Eagles from the fall and the spring, going 15-3 and 24-2?
Taking over that leadoff spot this year, I knew I just had to get on his base, and the guys behind me were going to do their job. So they made my life easy as long as I was able to get on base. Using my speed a little bit helped, so once I got on, I knew I had the green light to run. And so that was just my game plan going into every at-bat, and we executed that extremely well.
Execution is the key that you guys did extremely well, and you guys tore up the SWCL last year, and was one juggernaut that you guys ran into this spring and also in the fall. That was Crane, which you guys played in the SWCL championship and in the district championship, even though you guys won the SWCL in the spring. Kind of tell me about what that rivalry is between you guys and Crane when you guys joined the SWCL. First, starting off with...
Coach Harmon does a great job over there, and we knew coming in to play Crane that it was going to be a hard-fought battle. We always enjoyed playing them before we jumped into the SWCL, and of course, like you said, playing them last year in the SWCL championship down at C of O. That was just a fun ball game, and we knew coming into the spring that they were going to be one of those teams that we really had to compete against, and I feel like we did just that to be able to accomplish some goals this year.
Same question goes to you, Mason Schallert, and Kyler Props, as well as Coach Hughes and Coach Mann. You guys coming in playing Crane in the SWCL and in the district championship in both the fall and the spring. What did you guys do to prepare for for a team like Crane and also other teams like, say, Galena, Sparta, Spokane, Blue Eye, Billings, and also Southwest?
We knew their staff pretty well, so we really just had to make sure that we were prepared more on our end. We knew we could only control what we can control, and at the end of the day, we were just going to have to play the way we play, and, if one of those teams were to beat us, we just tip our hats and move on at the end of the day, but we just knew that we were going to have to bring our game.
Bring our game, it is. And tell me, what was the definition that you guys had in this season? Starting up with head coach Josh Hughes. What was the definition that you guys had throughout this fall and the spring season?
The definition of our season is just hard work, show up, practice, and go into every game with the knowledge of that we can compete with anybody, win or lose. Hang your head high, and we did a lot of that this year.
Did a lot of that this year. Same question goes to you, Kyler Props. What was the definition that you guys had going into both the fall and the spring season, as well as Mason Schallert and Carl Hughlett?
Right. So just as Coach Hughes was kind of telling you, we just had some particular goals in mind, and so we knew coming into it we had the chance to do some big things, and unfortunately we just came up short. But just coming into this year, we knew we had some big goals, and that was just kind of our definition of the season.
Definition of the season, and also individually, what was your definition that you guys had of the season? Start up with Mason Schallert.
I don't know if I had to define the definition of our season. It would probably be successful, but again, we got stopped short of where we wanted to be. But I'd say for the most part, our season was extremely successful.
Successful it is. And same question goes to Kyler Props. As what was your definition that you had in this season?
I think the definition of our season was we all enjoyed ourselves and we grew together as a team and became a family. And Coach Hughes liked to use the analogy of a circle and how we all need to be inside the circle. And I think we really came together and did that, and unfortunately we came up a little short towards the end of the year and didn't quite get to our accomplished goal. But, yeah, we did what we could, and we just took our hats and kept going.
Tipped the hat and kept going. And also that question relates to you as assistant coach Derek Mann. As what was your definition that you had going into this 2018 fall season and 2019 spring season?
I think our definition of the season was just hard work and the kids buying into what Coach and I have been trying to teach them. And with that, we just brought a lot of success to the program this year. And you could see that from the individual stats from everybody. They did well, and we came together as a team pretty well as well.
Came together in a team that you guys had as in this season. And as we now move into another topic, which is wins. You guys had lots of wins. It was 39 wins on the season. What was the most important win that you guys had throughout those 39 wins in the both fall and the spring season? Start up with Mason Schallert, and then we'll go to Coach Josh Hughes, and then to Carl Hughlett, and then Kyler Props, and then we'll end that topic up with Coach Derek Mann. Start up with Mason Schallert.
The most important win we had this season, I'd probably say, would have to be the district championship game.
Now, same question goes to you, Coach Hughes. What would you say your most important win was in both the fall and the spring?
Every win's important, but there's some that you kind of look forward to, and anytime you can win a conference title, you can win a district title, maybe even beat a rival. Those are all good, and we kind of did that all this year. I really enjoy competing, against good teams, and we had that opportunity this year to play quite a few good teams and get some quality wins.
get some big quality wins. And that's also the same question that runs with Kyler Props and Carl Hughlett, as well as assistant coach Derek Mann. Start up with Kyler Props. What do you think your most important win of the season was, and also most important win of the fall season as well?
Coach Hughes mentioned, every win throughout the year is very important. As far as the spring season, one of my favorite ones that we had was against Hartville. I feel like that kind of got us rolling offensively, and our numbers from there just really kind of speak for itself. As far as the fall, it's always fun to get ready for the spring, having that opportunity in the fall season. For the fall, I'd definitely say that the game against Crane in the SWCL championship was probably one of our biggest wins.
Same question goes to Carl Hughlett as well as Coach Mann. What would you say your most important wins individually would be of this fall and spring season that you guys had?
I think that, every game that we went out and played and we competed at and we won was a good game for us. Every game we went out and we got better, and we had to do what we had to do. And overall, we just became better and closer together.
Pulled together it was. And same question goes to Carl Hughlett. What was your most important win? Or Kyler Props, what was your most important win that you say was this season?
It's hard to say which one's the most important on the year, but it's always nice to end the season with a championship and start going into the spring. That set our expectations pretty high. So if I had to put one on it, it'd probably be the Schlickle championship in the fall.
SWCL championship in the fall it is. And now as we move on to another topic in the win topic is the most exciting win. Now, for each of you guys, what was your most exciting win that you guys had throughout the fall and the spring seasons?
Our most exciting one, again, would probably be that either the fall conference championship or the district championship game. District championship game was a big one. Really solidified what we were trying to do this season. Unfortunately, fell a little bit shorter than what we expected, but the district championship was definitely an exciting one for us.
Definitely an exciting one for us. And as the same question goes to also head coach Hughes as well as assistant coach Derek Mann, Mason Schallert, and Carl Hughlett. What was your most exciting win that you would say was this season?
Oh, they're all good, but I agree with Coach Mann. Winning the Schlickle Conference tournament, winning the district championship. That's our goal every year to be in those two games, and to get those are some of the most exciting wins, no matter who it's against.
And now as we head with one of the other players of Mason Schallert as well as Kyler Props and Carl Hughlett, what would you guys say your most exciting win would be of this season? Start up with Mason Schallert, then we'll go to Kyler Props and then Carl Hughlett.
Like I said earlier, probably the most exciting game would be our district championship when the intensity level was high and just a fun game to be a part of. So just the adrenaline of the district championship game was probably the most exciting game.
Same question goes to Kyler Props and Carl Hughlett. What would you guys say your most exciting win would be? Start up with Kyler Props. And we'll go to Carl Hughlett.
As far as most exciting win, I would say probably going back to one of our very first games of the season against New Bloomfield. We really didn't know much about them going in, and we got a nice win over them, and that just kind of was the jump start to our season there. So I'd say that'd be the most exciting win for me.
Also, same question goes to Carl Hughlett. What was your most exciting win of the season?
I feel that the most exciting win of the season was probably senior night for us. Just the emotions are high for us, and we went out and we played a very good game, and overall we played well, and we were hitting the ball, and it was just fun.
Now we got to move on to the dark side of the wins, which are losses. and you guys only had 5 losses in both the fall and the spring. 3 in the fall, 2 in the spring. Now, what would be your most educational or learning loss that you guys say that really made you learn from it? Start up with head coach Josh Hughes and go to assistant coach Derek Mann, and then we will wrap that question up with Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Propp. Start up with head coach Josh Hughes.
They're all losses you can learn from, but going back to one of the first losses of the spring against Monette. We competed against a kid that's going down to Arkansas, and the Spain kid, left-handed pitcher from Monette, stayed in the game, and then finally, got some runs off of him late in the game, and then got a big hit late on in the 7th to tie it up, and we ended up losing on an error, and we realized real quick how one play could make a difference, and so we kind of started focusing on doing one, taking each pitch. Each pitch is important, and the most important pitch is the one at that time. So, we learned from that and moved on and rattled off, quite a few wins after that before our loss to Seymour.
Same question goes to Coach Derek Mann. What was your most educational loss that you'd say helped you guys learn from throughout the season, as well as in the fall and the spring?
I'd say one of our most educational ones would either be the Monette game or probably our very first loss in the fall against Silo. Both really good teams. We competed hard against them, and it just kind of showed that right off the bat for both seasons we were ready to play. And unfortunately, we came up a little short in both those games, but it set the tone for us, saying that we're here, we're ready. So it'd be one of those two, but probably the Silo game. Mostly we were leading in that game for the most part, and then a few things didn't go our way. And unfortunately, we came in on the wrong end of that one.
You'd come in on the wrong end of that one at the final game against Seymour, which was during the spring. And now as we head now to the players of Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Propp, what would you guys say your most educational or learning loss of the season was? Start up with Kyler Propp.
Like Coach Hughes said, just that first loss of the spring season was Monette. It was kind of an eye-opener to us that, we could compete with these bigger schools and also these higher caliber teams, and that, this is who we are and we needed to get better if we wanted to get to our goals. So.
Same question goes to Kyler Propp and Carl Hughlett. What would your most educational loss be of the season?
My most educational loss would probably have to go back to fall. We played Ellington in the fall over at Billings in a little tournament game. And, looking at it now as they're the state champs in Class 2, we learned a lot from that game, kind of knowing where we had to be in order to be that good. Just unfortunately weren't able to come up with it, but that was a good loss for us early on.
The same question goes to Kyler Propp. What was your most educational or learning loss that you would say throughout the season?
I think our most educational loss was probably the Manette game at the beginning of the season this year in the spring. I think we just learned that we can't make the little mistakes, and throughout the year we grew better on that and not making the little mistakes and doing everything right.
Doing everything right, and not every game is going to be a win, as what we've heard. But this Purdy team, Purdy team was probably one of the most exciting teams to see play here in Southwest Missouri. And as we now move on to another topic in the losses, as what was going to be the most disappointing loss or toughest loss that you guys had to take throughout either the fall or the spring? Start up with assistant coach Derek Mann, then we'll go to head coach Josh Hughes, and then the players of Mason Schallert, Kyler Propp, and Carl Hughlett. Start up with head coach Derek Mann.
Well, all of them are tough as a coach. I take all of them very, very serious, and I've always said every time that the Purdy Eagle baseball team wins a game, the kids earn it, they deserve it, they did the right things, and every time that the Purdy Eagle baseball team lose, that was on me. I've got to do a better job of getting them prepared or getting them in a position to win a ball game. So, all those losses that we've all kind of been talking about and what we learned from them is kind of my my MO of taking them personally and trying to get better. So they're all disappointing.
All disappointing, and it is. As now it will pass the question on to assistant coach Derek Mann. What was your most disappointing or toughest loss that you had of this season?
Like Coach said, they're all pretty tough, but I'd say the toughest one, most disappointing one, is the one that ends our season. That loss to Seymour kind of hurt. It makes us move on from our seniors, which is a great group of seniors, and then we got to get ready for next year. But it's always tough to lose when you're so close to reaching your goals. So I definitely say that loss is probably our most toughest one.
Seymour was the most toughest loss according to assistant coach Derek Mann. As we now move to the players of Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props. As the question goes, what was your most toughest loss or disappointing loss that you guys would say individually was this throughout both the fall and the spring? Start up with Kyler Props.
Most disappointing loss for us, obviously the one that ends our season, like Coach Mann said, is always the hardest one to take. But early on in the year, the Monette game was tough as well. We knew that we really wanted that one. Being kind of close to Monette, we knew a lot of the guys that we played ball against growing up, and that one was especially tough for me, especially losing on that walk-off error. But, of course, Spain's a great pitcher, and they're a well-coached team, and them making it to quarterfinals definitely kind of softened the blow from that one. But that was the most disappointing loss for me.
Most disappointing loss, it was Monette, according to Kyler Props. And the same question goes to Carl Hughlett and Mason Schallert. What was your most disappointing loss that you had of this season?
I feel like Coach Hughes is saying, and the most disappointing loss is probably the one against Seymour, just because it's an ending loss, and you can't go back and you can't fix anything. Not like if you were to lose a game early on in the season, it's where you can know what you have to do better on.
Something you can't go back to after a loss like that. Same question goes to you, Mason Schallert, as what was your most disappointing or toughest loss that you had in either the fall or the spring?
Well, like Carl and Coach Hughes touched on, every loss is tough, and the season-ending one at Seymour really was a tough one, especially for us seniors, as it was our last game for us. But it was just tough because none of us were ready for our season to end. So
now as we move on to another topic of awards, and as we heard, head coach Josh Hughes is in the running for the Ozarks Sports Report Coach of the Year, and also one player from Purdy, or maybe a couple players from Purdy, was in the running for the Ozarks Sports Report Player of the Year, which was Carl Hughlett and Mason Schallert. So what does this make you say for being in the running for the Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year that's nominated by Ozarks Sports Report? Start up with the nominee from the Coach of the Year, head coach Josh Hughes, and then we'll go to the Defensive Player and Player of the Year nominees of Carl Hughlett and Mason Schallert, which, if we know, Carl Hughlett won the Defensive Player of the Year. So let's go to head coach Josh Hughes, the Ozarks Sports Report Coach of the Year nominee.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do with the publicity you give us, and I'm humbled by it, but I also know it takes good players, as you mentioned, Carl Hughlett being the Defensive Player of the Year with the nomination for that, and then Mason getting nominated. Also, it's just, it takes guys like that and, guys like Ty and the other guys on the team to be able to do that. And, that'd be, silly not to mention, my wife and my assistant coach for, being able to do the things that they do behind the scenes. And it takes a whole, as they say, it takes a whole village to raise a kid. Well, it takes a whole village to have a baseball team. And I appreciate the nomination and look forward to visiting with you whenever we get a chance.
Now as we move on to the Ozarks Sports Report Player of the Year nominee, who was Mason Schallert. So, Mason, what do you think made you become a nominee for the Ozarks Sports Report Player of the Year, which unfortunately you came in third behind Logan Peebles from Clever and Rhett Hill from Fair Grove. So, what makes you think that you're a nominee for the Player of the Year?
Well, I'm very humbled by it, like Coach Hughes said, but also, as he touched on, it's not just me. The players around me also helped me get there. 8 other guys, there was 9 guys on our team that could have been nominated for that award, as everybody just stepped up and did their job. And, the guys in front of me got on, did their jobs, and the guys behind me, and it was a great honor to be nominated for that award.
And Carl Hughlett, as you were nominated you were actually the winner of the Defensive Player of the Year, which you defeated Gage Singer from Aurora, Rhett Hill from Fair Grove, and Chase Conrad, who's in the same conference as you but over in Crane. So what makes you the Defensive Player of the Year? What makes you think that you deserve the Defensive Player of the Year? What made you shine out defensively if you were behind the plate?
I mean, any of these kids could have gotten it just as well as I did, but I mean, as Coach Hughes told me all throughout the season, I just needed to worry about what I'm doing behind the plate and just keeping the ball in front and doing my job overall.
Do the job overall. And as we now flip the page from the fall of 2018 and spring of 2019 now into next fall of 2019 and the spring of 2020, what will be the main subject that's going to be taught? Like what will be made to help take you guys further from the sectionals and get you guys another district championship and maybe another SWCL championship in the fall of 2019 and the spring of 2020? Start up with head coach Josh Hughes.
Well, I'm looking forward to next season. I think we got a good core coming back. It's going to be tough to replace these 3 seniors that are sitting here with us right now, but I'm looking forward to it. We've got over half of our pitching staff back. It's going to be hard to replace the guys on the mound that we're losing. We've got most of our offense back. Again, hard to replace who's leaving on offense. But, we got most of our defense back, too. So we got 6 guys returning, and we're really looking forward to competing. I know we've got some guys playing this summer, and they're doing really well right now, and we'll be right back at it, come August.
Come August, we'll be right back at it. And also, same question goes to you, head assistant coach Derek Mann, as well as Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props, even though you guys have already graduated from Purdy. So, Coach Mann, what do you expect from next fall and next spring?
We have high expectations for just everybody. So the incoming freshmen, we got a good group there. Our sophomore class is pretty good too. So we got a good class to fill in those spots that will be that are spots that we need to fill from the seniors leaving. I think our expectations are always the same though, because we have those high expectations and the players know what they are. So our expectations are still to go as high as we can and hopefully win eventually a state championship with these groups.
Win a state championship it is. And as we now send the question over to the players of Carl Hughlett, Mason Schallert, and Kyler Props. Even though you guys have already graduated from Purdy High School, what do you think will be different about Purdy baseball as you guys come to see the games as spectators and alumni as well? Start up with Carl Hughlett.
I think that the Purdy baseball team will do fine next year. I mean, they have a bunch of kids coming back, and they have a good group of freshmen coming up, and I think it'll be fun to go watch them every once in a while. And hopefully I get to see as many games as I can.
Same question goes to Kyler Props and Mason Schallert. What do you think, as you guys have departed the Purdy baseball program, what do you guys think will be different? What do you guys think will be changed? Do you think it's going to be the same next year, or do you think it's going to be a little bit different since you guys are not going to be playing for Purdy next year?
It can be a little bit of both, same and different. I think there's going to be a lot of familiar faces returning back for the Eagles, and then also losing some seniors. But I feel like they got a great group coming back with going to be a great group of seniors leading them with Zane Brown on the mound, and then Andrew Martinez at the plate and in the outfield. I think it's going to be a great season for them next year.
Great season will be for next year as well. As we pass the question on to Kyler Props, as what do you think will be taught for the main subject next year, as you have moved along from the Purdy Eagles baseball program? What do you think will be taught for next season? What will Coach Hughes instill into his players for next season as they begin to take the field next fall and next spring?
Me and Coach Hughes were just talking about it while Mason was chatting there, but like he said, he has to rebuild every year. It's not like he can keep our seniors around by choice. So he'll do a great job bringing in guys and it's just a testament to Coach Hughes year after year. He's putting up great records and always being a tough
opponent for others. It is, and that's one thing that Coach Hughes has on his resume. And as we are about to wrap up this recap, if there are any final words that you guys had to say through all the coaches that you played in the SWCL, as well as outside the conference and also outside the state, and as we go on to another topic, as you guys played a team out of Oklahoma known as Silo, what's different about Oklahoma baseball as opposed to baseball in Missouri? Start up with head coach Josh Hughes and coach Derek Mann.
Well, they're just men amongst boys. They're a great program. Coach does a good job with them down there. We played them the last 2 years. Going to try to play them again this year. Oklahoma baseball has always been good. They have 2 seasons of championship baseball, so you can be the fall state champion and the spring state champion. So they're getting more games. They start, about a month earlier. They start in the early part of February. And then it's just, they know how to do things right. And, it's a hotbed for baseball players. I know a lot of college coaches, and they talk about scouting and getting out there and seeing those Oklahoma kids.
Same question goes to you, Coach Derek Mann, as well as the players of Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props. What do you think makes Oklahoma baseball so unique to Missouri baseball? Start up with Coach Derek Mann, and then we'll go to Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props. Here's Assistant Coach Derek Mann.
They're coached well down there. It's a little bit warmer, so they probably get to play a little bit more and a little bit sooner than us. I know they start sooner than us, so that's definitely an advantage for them. They're already a few games in as we're just starting our season off. So it's always nice to get on a roll and then come play somebody that's just now starting. So I'd say they're coached well, and that them starting a little bit sooner than us is definitely an advantage.
Same question applies to Mason Schallert as well as Kyler Props and Carl Hughlett. First going to Carl Hughlett, as what do you think makes Oklahoma baseball so unique to baseball in Missouri?
I think it was just nice to be able to see somebody that's different. Something we haven't seen before, and it was good competition. So, it was just good competition, and glad to see that something new that we won't be able to see again. And we just went out and we put it all on the field against them.
Same question goes to Mason Schallert and Kyler Props, as what do you think is different between baseball in Missouri once again and Oklahoma?
Well, like Carl said, seeing a different team is nice. Sometimes seeing somebody that you don't typically see like we do around here, because we play both the fall and spring season. But Oklahoma has a great tradition for having good baseball programs all around. And so seeing Silo, Oklahoma was a great test for us.
Question goes to also Kyler Props, as what do you think is different about Missouri baseball as opposed to Oklahoma baseball? What do you see the difference Like, is there a big size in players? Is it longer seasons? Is it a different style of play in Oklahoma? What is it so different about Oklahoma baseball as opposed to Missouri baseball?
Yeah, seeing Silo early on, we've got to see them, luckily, for the past 2 years, and it's always a good opportunity to get a game like that. Just something that we always take away from Silo. They're able to throw the ball pretty hard. Seeing their pitching staff definitely betters us for later on in the season, so seeing them early on is good for us and contributes to our deep runs in the postseason.
One final question is, as we like to say, if there were any final words you had to say to all the coaches that you played, including Coach Jason Dewey, that you recently played from Seymour, what would your final words be from all the coaches that you played throughout the fall and spring seasons? Start up with head coach Josh Hughes, and we'll go to assistant coach Derek Mann, Carl Hughlett, Kyler Props, and we'll wrap it up with Mason Schallert. So first up, here's Coach Josh Hughes.
Well, I just enjoy competing against guys that know a little bit about the game baseball, and starting off with Coach Dewey over there at Seymour, guy, took Norwood to the Final Four, took Seymour for their first ever trip to the Final Four. He knows what he's doing. It was a great baseball game, high class quality players, and then he's just a high class quality dude. So, and then just like in our conference with the SWCL, we've got some great coaches. We've got some moving in. I know Galena's got a new coach coming in. Looking forward to compete against him. And, I know Sparta and Spokane got new coaches, so looking forward to that. But, you got Coach Ferguson down in Southwest and Coach Harmon, Crane, and those guys, good guys that know the game of baseball. And we have great times together and love to beat each other and love to compete against each other.
Same question goes to you, Coach Mann. What would your final words be to all the coaches that you played throughout the fall and the spring?
It's always good, fun, and nice to compete against coaches that know what they're doing, and so it's a great challenge for us. We love doing it, and it's even more fun when you get to beat them. It's just nice to challenge ourselves against some coaches, and there's a lot of good coaches around, and so we enjoy the challenge that it brings.
Also, the question goes to Carl Hughlett, Kyler Props, and Mason Schallert. What would all your final words be to all the coaches that you guys have played throughout last fall and last spring? Start up with, once again, Carl Hughlett, then we'll go to Kyler Props, and end it up with Mason Schallert.
It was a fun season with all these guys and some of my best friends that I've got to play with, and grow closer to some of the coaches, especially Coach Harmon down at Crane and Coach Hughes and Coach Mann. It's been fun playing for them for the past 4 years, and I'm going to miss it.
Going to make it is. And also the same question goes to, once again, Carl Hughlett and Kyler Props. What would your final words be to all the coaches and teams that you guys played, including your final team that you played in Seymour?
I mean, I just enjoyed the year overall. We had a good year, fun year. We all came together. Oh. I just overall enjoyed it, and I'll miss it.
And finally, that we'll go to Kyler Props. What would your final words be to all the coaches that you played and the teams that you've played so far this season?
It's been a lot of fun playing against coaches such as Coach Harmon and Coach Katniss over at Wheaton. I've really enjoyed that, and getting the opportunity to play Coach Calhoun over at Monette. I've kind of known those guys before, and getting to play for Coach Harmon down at the All-Star game for the seniors, that was a whole lot of fun, getting to play under him, and I'm definitely going to miss it, and it's been a fun ride.
Here now with Coach Josh Hughes after that big district semifinal win against Pierce City today. Coach Hughes, what did you have going into mind here against Pierce City?
It's district time. Everybody's 0-0, and they had the opportunity to play last night and kind of get some of those early game jitters out. And man, did their kid do a good job on the mound, mixing speeds and keeping us off balance. And we just did enough to get by and move on and advance.
enough to get by and to advance. That was the scripture today against Pierce City. And in the early stages of the game, Pierce City got on the board first, but what did you say to your kids when Pierce City scored the first run?
Well, we knew we were going to have to score to win. And so, if we could just keep it at 1, we were just going to get an opportunity to try to get some runs later on, and we did. And, you got to kind of give credit to our guy, too. I mean, as good as their kid was, our guy was as good, matched him pitch for pitch, and didn't break, and ended up the night giving up 3 hits, 12 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. You got to tip your hat to Mason Schallert. He did a great job.
Mason Schallert did do a good job tonight and kept the Green Eagles off balance, and it was a win for the Eagles in gold tonight. Kind of tell me about what Mason Schallert had on the mound tonight here against Pierce City.
Well, we noticed early on, I was kind of standing with him in the bullpen. The curveball was working real good. He was doing a good job hitting spots with fastballs. And, I'm not really sure how many changeups he threw, but the fastball-curveball combination was doing a really good job, and he was mixing speeds. And then, it just as the game went on, he just got better and better. Kind of the middle innings, he kind of walked. He ended up walking 1 and gave up a couple hits there in the 3rd inning, and that's just kind of how they got the run. And he settled down, did a good job.
Did a good job it was, and Carl Hughlett was the man to spark the rally for Purdy to knock off those Pierce City Eagles. Kind of tell me about what Hughlett had in mind for his at bat to help spark the.
I have no clue what Carl has in mind at times, but he does such a good job behind the plate that I just let him do whatever he wants. No, Carl's a good kid, and he does a great job for us behind the plate. We've been working all year long about hitting the ball, letting it get deep, and hitting it hard, and come up there late in the game, and ended up getting us a big hit, and moving some runners around later on, and drawing a walk there in the 6th, and just did a good job at the plate seeing pitches tonight. I thought he was seeing a lot better pitches and taking better swings tonight. So.
District championship is tomorrow, and this is the 2nd game of the semifinals. You're going to be taking on either Billings or Crane. Kind of tell me what it's going to be to help get the district championship win tomorrow against either Billings or Crane.
We're just happy to be in that position. We could easily be going home with a loss and season over. So we're just happy to be in that district championship game and see what happens. Baseball is kind of one of those things. Coach Harmon and his assistants and we were all talking last night. You don't really have to scout or worry. You got to take care of yourself. And if you take care of yourself, you give yourself a chance to win. And we're going to try to take care of ourselves and see what happens.
Derek, what you had to say to Coach Curry after that season-ending loss they had to you guys? What would be your words to Coach B.J. Curry of the Pierce City Eagles?
What a fabulous job he did. He graduated 9 guys last year, and brings in, I think, only 2 returning starters. And, they're in a, 1-1 ball game, in the district semifinals and had a chance to win it. I mean, what a great job he did.
It's very fun, appreciate the time, Coach Hughes. Congratulations on that big win against Pierce City. Talk to you against either Crane or Billings.
All right, thanks, Adam. Thanks for all you do.
Out here with 2 Purdy Eagles of Mason Schallert and Carl Hughlett, who threw some big strikeouts, only allowed 1 run, and also got the fire started in the later stages of the game. Guys, tell me about what you guys had in mind going into this game against Pierce City.
Well, we were just coming in trying to play with confidence. We just had to come and knew we had to come and show up and play our game and not worry about what Pierce City did. And Coach Hughes always talks about control what we can control, and I think that's what we did tonight.
Control is what you did tonight, and it was the game that was decided. And Pierce City scored 1 run, then you guys scored another to tie it. Kind of break down what Coach Hughes told you guys to hopefully tie the game, and then in the later stages of the game also take the lead.
Well, Coach Hughes has told us that we needed to listen to him a little bit more, and we started taking more pitches, seeing more pitches, and getting pitches that we can actually hit. And that allowed us to get base runners to eventually score runs.
Allows you to get base runners and score more runs when you listen to your head coach. And now individually, Carl Hughlett, what were you seeing in the game against, or when you were up at the plate against Pierce City's hitters, or against Pierce City's pitcher?
I was just trying to see the fastball because, last year I had a good year against Gardner, but this year, I've been struggling, so I'm just trying to see pitches I can hit, wait for that pitch.
Now, Mason Schallert, you had a quiet day at the plate today, but on the mound you were busy today. Tell me about what you needed to do to keep your day busy and hopefully shut down those Pierce City hitters.
Well, that starts with our defense. We had a great job. We had a great defensive day today, and I was just trying to hit spots, and make contact, and Pierce City was just swinging through the pitches, but I had faith in my defense that if I was to get a ground ball or a fly ball, they were going to make a play behind me.
Second district semifinal game coming up against Crane and Billings. You'll take on either Crane or Billings in the district championship. What's it going to be to get another win and to get the district championship tomorrow against either Crane or Billings?
We're just going to have to come out and play, do our job, stay composed, and just do our best, have fun.
Just like Carl said, we got to come out and play our game and not worry about what goes wrong. Just got to keep on playing our game and see what we can do.
If there are any final words you have to say to Coach B.J. Curry of the Pierce City Eagles after that season-ending loss they had to you guys, what would be your words to Coach Curry of the Pierce City Eagles?
Like Coach Hughes said, he did a fabulous job graduating 8 or 9 seniors, and all 8 or 9 of them were top-notch athletes, and then coming in with only 2 returning starters. Like he said, he did a great job this year with those 9 guys that he put on the field.
I agree with Mason. I think earlier in the year they kind of struggled a little bit, but they really came along as a team and grew together from what I've seen.
Appreciate the time, guys. Congratulations on that big win against Pierce City send you to the district championship. And we'll talk to you guys against either Crane or Billings.
Right, thank you.
Now here with 3 Purdy Eagles of Mason Schallert, OCL Aldalva, and Zane Brown after that big district championship win against Crane tonight. Boys, what was the ingredient that you had going into this game here against Crane?
Well, we've been playing all right, so if we just kept playing our ball, I figured we'd do all right.
I feel like our hitting came together tonight. Last night we were missing our offense, which had been there all season, and we got it tonight, and it showed. And then Zane did a heck of a job on the mound, and our defense played well behind us.
We know that today was going to be a good game. We all went to work, and we got the job done.
Big game it was, and this Crane team, you guys run-rolled them earlier in the season. You run-rolled them here in districts. What was Coach Hughes' words before taking this field in the district championship game against Crane?
His words were not to take them lightly. Don't take them lightly. Play our game and let the rest happen.
Like Coach Hughes said, everybody's 0-0 when it starts the districts, and everybody's ready to show up and play. And we had to come out here and play our best ball to beat Crane.
Like he said, we couldn't take anybody lightly. And we knew that coming in districts that there was some major upsets, so we just had to play our ball and keep going.
Some big upsets there were, and let's kind of talk about offensively and defensively. Zane Brown, you were able to shut down those Crane hitters and leave zeros on the board. What was your game plan tonight to keep those zeros on the board for those Pirates?
Well, I just went up there and I just threw strikes, and I knew I had my defense behind me to make plays, so I just went up there and threw my best. Tried to anyways.
Mason Schallert and OCL Aldalva, you guys were the spark plugs in the offensive side for these Purdy Eagles. What was your game plan here against Crane on the offensive side of this game?
Our job was just to put the ball in play, and our practice are mostly on offense. We're trying to do the best in our offense, and our defense will follow.
Andrew Martinez did a great job today at the plate. He was hitting the ball well. I think that all started with him. He got some hits, and we just kept on rolling after him. We just saw early on in the game, we saw a lot of pitches and forced their pitcher to get up high in the pitch count, so we knew what he had and we knew what he was throwing in what situation, so we got his pitch count up and we saw a lot of pitches.
Did get his pitch count up, and now it's going to be on to the sectional round. You're going to be taking on Seymour, is what we heard. You're taking on Seymour. What's it going to be to send you guys to the quarterfinals when you guys take on Seymour on Monday?
No, we just got to keep playing our ball. We can't get out of in our heads. We just got to keep playing like we know how to.
Like you said, we got to play our ball. We got to do everything we do and just go out there and play.
Control what we can control. Like they said, we've got to play our ball and not worry about what Seymour's going to do or the umpires. We just got to play our ball and go out there and play Purdy Eagle baseball.
Is there any final words you have to say to Coach Brian Harmon of the Crane Pirates after that season-ending loss they had to you guys? What would be your words to Coach Brian Harmon after that nail-biting season-ending loss they had to these Purdy Eagles?
Well, tell them good job. They put up a heck of a game. They played real well. Tell them just keep working hard till next season.
They have a pretty good team. It's a pretty tough team, and I just look forward for next year to see what happens.
Like they all said, just keep working hard for next year. But last night they had a really big win against Billings, beating them 16-0. So they were playing some good ball.
All right, thanks for taking the time with us, guys. Congratulations on that big district championship win. Go get Seymour in these sectionals. And best luck to you guys against Seymour in the sectional round.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now here with head coach Josh Hughes after a big district championship win against Crane here tonight. Coach Hughes, what was the ingredient that you had going into this game against Crane?
Zane did a great job on the mound and ended up, doing enough early on to get out of some jams, and then our offense came through and our defense made some plays. So, that ball that Conrad hit in the second or third inning there that Andrew went back and caught at the wall was just a fabulous play, and then Clay had a great play at second. Then got out of some jams. It was a great job.
Great job it was, and some big plays that happened here in this district championship. And you guys kept Crane scoreless all game, and it was also scoreless in the early stages of the game, and then let's go into the fifth inning rather, where it was also another scoreless inning. Kind of tell me about what you guys had to do to manufacture those first 6 runs in this game.
Well, we got a leadoff walk, and then we bunted him, and was awarded by that and had some guys on, and then we got a big back-to-back hits by our 3 and 4 hole to score those first runs, and then we kind of battled early back in the bottom of the order, Zane come up with a 3-0 lead and ended up getting a huge hit that scored 3 guys. So it's just a great day for him on the mound and also at the plate.
Also the play that was. And how about Zane Brown throwing a complete game shutout tonight here against Crane?
Oh, he's done a good job for us all year. We know what we're going to get. He did a great job coming out there and throwing strikes early, and then he got out of some jams later and pitched a heck of a game.
You're going to be going to the sectionals. You're going to be taking on either Seymour or Mansfield. What's it going to be to keep your season alive and send you guys to the quarterfinals against either Seymour or Mansfield?
Well, I've said this all year. We just got to take care of ourselves. We don't know anything about either one of them. We know a lot about ourselves, and if we take care of ourselves, we give ourselves a chance to win and see what happens.
Any final words you have to say to Coach Brian Harmon after that season-ending loss they had to you guys? What's going to be some motivational words that you would say, and some inspiring words that you would say to Coach Brian Harmon of the Crane Pirates after that season-ending loss for next spring?
What a great job he did. Graduated 6 or 7 seniors last year. Has a bunch of sophomores playing to get to that game and to be in that game and get that experience for those young kids. He's doing just fine. He doesn't need any words from me, and he'll be right back here next year. We'll have trouble beating him, but he did a great job.
Appreciate the time, Coach Hughes. Congratulations on that district championship win. Appreciate district championships. Let's go get either Seymour or Mansfield on Monday.
Sounds good. Thanks, Adam.
Been a fun ride it is, and that will wrap up today's show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you enjoyed us sitting down with the coaches and the players of the Purdy Eagles, Coach Josh Hughes, Coach Derek Mann, as well as Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props. If you'd like to stay connected with the Purdy Eagles through their social media, be sure to like them on Facebook. Also follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter is at PHSskipper3. Once again, that's PHSskipper3 on Twitter. Also check out their website. Their website is at purdy.k12.mo.us. MO from Missouri. If you'd like to stay connected with Ozarks Sports Report through our social media, be sure to like us on Facebook. Also follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and check out our website. Our website is ozarksportsreport.wixsite.com/ozarksportsreport. One final time, we want to thank head coach Josh Hughes, once again, Coach Derek Mann, as well as Mason Schallert, Carl Hughlett, and Kyler Props for sitting down with us to recap this season, as we like to also say a big congratulations to the Purdy Eagles on a successful, and I mean a successful and a tremendous season, going 39-5 throughout the year, 16-3 in the fall, 24-2 in the spring. One final time, I'm Adam Smith from the Ozarks Sports Report saying, have a good day, everybody.